Welcome to the Think and Grow Well Show. If you allow your doctor, your insurance, or your Uncle Sam to define healthy, or you blame someone else for the way you feel, or you seek the fountain of youth in a prescription bottle, at a needle tip, or along the scalpel's edge, then be advised, you are about to be offended. You should probably leave now.
Anybody can just think and feel better? That's scary. I mean, thoughts aren't regulated by the feds, and no drug company has a patent on them. So thinking thoughts must not be very safe or effective.
If you love feeling frisky and having fun, take responsibility for your own vitality, and want freedom to enjoy epic experiences with folks you love, welcome aboard and prepare to be blown away. The Think and Grow Well Show starts now. Here's your host, Dr. Lori Barr.
Dr. Lori Barr here, and this is Think and Grow Well. We're going to talk a little more today about what makes long-term habits. Why are they so hard to change? I'd like for you to imagine that your subconscious mind is a factory creating a product which we're going to label S for sickness. That's S as in Sam, but we're going to make it S as in sickness. The reinforcement that you're sick, or I call it your disease mental tattoo, comes from your own thoughts, feedback from your environment, and also through communication with others. Your conscious mind is like the supervisor at the plant. Remember, your subconscious mind is the factory or the plant. So the conscious mind passes the template, the S ideas, the sickness ideas, into the assembly line and makes sure all the workers in the subconscious mind understand that the product to be made is S for sickness. The subconscious mind then uses all of its resources that it can attract from within you and all of the resources it can attract from the rest of the world to create the product you ordered. S for sickness. It's a very efficient factory. You get out more of what you put in. So something happens. I mentioned my friend Mary, who had the liver transplant, right? And something happened to her. She got the news that she was a transplant candidate. So something happens to you, and you get inspired to act well again. Your conscious mind now wants a product called W for well, and it has a well idea. But the factory is used to creating the product S. So all of the assembly lines and all of the workers are optimized to produce more and more and more of S. So subconscious mind is perfectly efficient and making a great product called S. And now the big conscious mind, the conscious mind says, let's try some W for a while, some well for a while. So your conscious mind sends down one signal, let's make well. It even sends the template. Here's what well looks like. And the subconscious factory, because the entire subconscious mind is working on the S idea template to create more S or sickness for you, the W, the well, is rejected because the supervisor of the factory did not prepare the workers for the change. You pass the idea off as a whim because you misuse your intellectual faculty of reason. That's when the little voice in your head shows up that says things like, who am I to think about being pain-free? Everybody knows that if you have this condition, you're always in pain. That's just the way it is. Now, that's a false belief. It doesn't have to be that way. If we choose to accept it, it's more likely to be that way. So the little voice in your head is the factory and the assembly of your subconscious mind saying, hey, we make S here. We don't do W easily. Okay? Now, when management wants one thing and the workers produce something else, it causes discomfort. There are layoffs, people quit, there may be reassignments. The supervisor himself may be fired for not communicating effectively with the production line employees. Likewise, a W idea, the well idea, that enters the subconscious mind busy with the production of S or sickness from a template of long-standing S or sickness ideas feels just as uncomfortable. It takes time and reinforcement of the W idea before the production team in the subconscious mind feels comfortable about producing W results in your life. The exact opposite is true as well. If you're healthy and have a subconscious mind full of W ideas, happily producing W, you act well and you enjoy yourself. If there's a sudden, overwhelming load of S ideas that are passed down into the subconscious, perhaps you're in an automobile accident and suddenly you're paralyzed, your mind, as well as your body, feel uncomfortable. All of those factory workers want to reject this sickness idea, the S idea, because they haven't been trained to produce it. They're producers of of W. So the bottom line is, whether you transition from health into disease, wellness into sickness, or from sickness into wellness, either way, you're going to produce physical and non-physical discomfort. You'll be scared. The simple, and it's never easy, cure is to force yourself to do it even when you're afraid. Even if the idea terrifies you, that's called the terror barrier. Approach your terror and feed your subconscious mind ideas that move you toward the setting you desire. The setting in your life, the wellness ideas, the W. Go for more W. So let's think about this for a minute. Imagine you had a chronic illness that you'd had for 10 years. It takes an inordinate amount of energy just to think about active roles for self-care and care of others rather than to focus on rest and death. The thought of expending all that energy is overwhelming and terrifying. Where will I find the energy? Will people trust me to do this for them after so long? Those are the kinds of questions the subconscious mind brings up and the little inner voice says to you when you consciously introduce the idea of, hey, we're going to feel better again. We're going to have more energy. So my friend Mary, even though Mary strongly desired to be well again and mastered being well again by the time I had met her, wellness mastery after disease comes only from a series of terrifying steps and breakthroughs after repeatedly resetting your own servo mechanism in your subconscious mind. Mary worked really hard, non-physically, with her spirit, her mind, and her awareness before she worked physically to see herself to perfect health. And you can do that too.
Your next steps.
Your next step, no matter how long you've felt diseased or you've felt ill, you can have more W. You can have more well ideas and a template for well in your life that you can start adopting and adapting right now with the energy you do have at hand, and more energy will come from that. Just be prepared for that little voice that's going to say, who are you to feel better? We make S here. We do sickness really well. And you're going to turn around and say, I reject that thought. I'm up for W now. I choose W today. This is Dr. Lori Barr. Let's all continue to think and grow well.
Psst, be aware. Vitality is an inside job. Trust your spirit, make up your mind, and get your body in gear. There are no second chances.